The topic, my topic for right now, it is Introduction to EPL. The word EPL, let's break it down. Exercises of practical life. Exercises of practical life. What is meant by exercises of practical life? I think हमारी आवाज़ एक दूसरे की दिमाग में है ना? We are here for the next 2 days conference to talk about the Montessori method. The theme is 0 to 6. When the child comes to the Montessori school, he is basically 2.5 to 3 years. Can a child at 2.5 years do mathematics? I need questions. I need answers. Listen to the questions. Can a child of age 2.5 years come to the school and be able to do reading and writing? How? Just put up your hands. How many of you think that a child can do that? Age 2.5, coming to school and being able to read and write? No. The answer is no. But when the child comes to a school at the age of 2.5, let's see how many things he already can do. Can you count on your fingers with me? Count silently. Walk, talk, touch, smell, see, hold, run. Come on, now let's get some vocabularies from you. Things children can do by the age 2.5. Play, sing, dance, cry, but they can do all of these except reading and writing. Now please note and understand this. You have to understand this as a parent. You have to understand this as a teacher. Education is not reading and writing. If you can make a note, if you can hold this idea in your heart, remember that for the rest of your life, education is not reading and writing. Education is preparing yourself for life. That is the true essence of education, and this is what Dr. Maria Montessori discovered. Some of you may know it. When she started to work with the children, she had these qualities to observe the child, and she realized that these children, they are attracted to doing the real thing. Let's not talk about Dr. Maria Montessori right now. Let's talk about you. How many of you have children who are 1 year old? Anybody? Raise your hand. Any child 1 year old, 2 years old, 3, 4, 5, 6, you all have children. Don't they just simply love to do all the household activity? Children all over the world do that. They love to mop, they love to sweep, if you're in the kitchen, they love to work with the kitchen utensils. So if all the children all over the world, whether it is China, Japan, America, Pakistan, you name it, they want to do that. That means there must be some sort of command, something natural in them that is pushing them towards doing these activities. Unfortunately, we the mothers, we the parents, we the adults at home, we believe, what do we believe? He will break the glass, he will drop the water, he will spill the juice. So, a most loving parent, the mother's dialogue is, let me do it for you. Isn't that so? We love to help our children. And Maria Montessori says, if the child would speak the first word, he would say, help me to do it by myself. How could child become independent unless and until he is given the opportunity to use his hands? A very interesting fact for you to always remember, never forget, that is our hands. Are we all blessed with hands? You see all these veins, it is being connected to our brain. You use your hand and your brain is being refined. If you don't understand this connection, you stop the child from holding, touching, you are stopping the child's mind from growth. And later on, when this child is 8 years old or 10 years old, what happens? We have a lazy child. A son or a daughter who will sit in front of the TV and she will just say, Mama, I want a glass of water. And then, what happens? At that time, you shout at the child and you say, you're such a big girl. Come on, go and get the water for yourself. But who is responsible for making the child lazy? Anybody can answer that? We the adults. You did not give the child the opportunity to use his hand when he was creating and forming himself. So the child who is not using his hand, you are depriving him. You are literally depriving that child from developing his mind. It is as simple as that. So, Dr. Maria Montessori introduced a new subject, an interesting subject, a subject where you don't have to read and write. Would you love to do a subject like that? Huh? No examination, no reading, no writing. Just do it. And that is the exercises of practical life. The third new factor which has been introduced in the Montessori system, all of us know this, that traditional method of teaching and learning is, there are two factors. The teacher and the students. Right now, I am teaching you with the help of the traditional method. Because we can go and sit under the tree. I give you this lecture, you will still understand. Because I am the person with the knowledge and you are here to learn. Is that so? Do you understand this simple thing? Long ago we went to school, the teacher was teaching and the students were learning. In the Montessori method, there is a third new, very important factor, and which is, who can tell me? Yes, the prepared environment. Look at the word. The prepared environment. Meaning, it's an environment and it is prepared. Prepared for what? Prepared for whom? We go to a wedding. Is that environment prepared for wedding? The stage is there and table, chairs and so on. You go to a milad. Is that environment prepared for that milad? So, this environment has been prepared especially for the fill in the blanks. Come on, answer. Wake up, you just had a cup of tea. It is prepared for the child. And if you're preparing something for the child, you have to keep two things in mind. His physical abilities and his mental abilities. If you have visited, if you are working in a proper Montessori school, you will see a prepared environment which has been especially prepared for the child. And what do you see in that environment? You see low shelves, you see small size things, made for the size of the child's hand. You see where the child can actually go and pick up, use and replace. So that prepared environment, you will be getting different lectures about the different subjects. So I shall only focus on EPL. There is an EPL corner in the Montessori school. EPL focuses on the complete social aspect of life. It is divided into basic movement. There are many exercises known as elementary, basic elementary, higher elementary, which the child learns as to how to do things. How to hold a jug, how to hold a tray, how to carry something, how to pour. And later on, it gets more difficult and more difficult when he is able to transfer things from one container to another. That needs a lot of concentration, reasoning power, logic. Then in EPL, there is something called care of the environment. Is this an outdoor environment or an indoor environment? it back. It's a PS2. You're a big girl, so would you carry it for me? Okay, that was a complete presentation. There are many presentations like that. Folding, washing, sweeping, cleaning. But in all the presentation, what did I do? There was this girl sitting down. I went up to her and I asked her, Auntie is going to do something very interesting. Would you like to work with me? Now that is known as taking the consent of the child, consent of the child, and this is the base of humanity. I mean, imagine the same child, whenever she wanted to work at home, and her mother said no, no, no. And there she is in the school and the teacher does not even say to you, come here, I am going to show you something. The teacher goes to the child. These are very important facts. And then she is given a choice, an option. Would you like to work? This little girl, in the beginning, most of the children, they say, oh, मुझसे पूछा जा रहा, काम करना नहीं करना? They say, no. They very proudly say no. Auntie will come tomorrow to the same child. Auntie, would you like to work with me? No, Auntie. So what do you do? Right? That's another story. But you continue, you never force the child. But when the child sees another girl working with the activity which is so interesting, tomorrow you will realize next day he will come stand up next to you and start doing this. Auntie, he wants to do it. Because imagine a child who's been stopped at home and who comes and gets a prepared environment like that, where it's everything for him to use. But there are rules. No children cannot work with any material unless and until he is shown how to. So whatever is given to the child is known as presentation. We, the teacher, give him the presentation. When he is working, he is going to be doing the exercise. Ma'am had even mentioned in the laws of nature, children love to repeat, and these activities give them an opportunity to repeat. Let's have another presentation from another group. Let's see what we have. How are you? Oh, I love your dress. It's so pretty. Now, Auntie is going to do something very interesting. Would you like to come with me? You want to work with Auntie? Okay, come on, let's go. Hey, look at this. This is known as pegging. Pegging. What is this? Pegging. Today we are going to peg a basket. Can you carry this for me? Please do. Give me that. Please have a seat. Now, I want you to watch Auntie very carefully. Just watch what I am doing. Okay? Auntie got all the bags. Huh? Now I'm going to show you how to put it back on the basket. So once again, just look at me carefully.